Hi everyone, I'm Michelangelo. Welcome to my Conversations with BlueGod, video number 100. I can't believe it for Westerners, of course, rounded numbers. So in our collective universal consciousness, 100 is significant. Let that be invoked. And the message really here for this one is not coincidence that it really is my ranting about Western life. So it starts like this. I need help with my sleeping pattern. I know that it is significantly slowing the growth of my outer process. I feel like I need consistency more than anything else. I have always resisted consistency in most areas of my life. This has benefited me in many ways, but I suspect that it has also hindered me in other ways. It has made it very difficult for me to connect with the regular day to day reality that most others live on. I am grateful for this because, for the most part, I have never been able to relate with how most other people live. It feels so frantic, disconnected, and even crude, immature, and selfish. I never understood how so many can be so selfish, self centered, and unloving. How is it that most naturally crave for love and connection but act in such superficial ways? I never understood how people can be entertained by violence. How is something like ultimate fighting even a thing? And all the focus on body image and appearance, I don't even get how so many people pay so much attention to physical appearance and then expect to feel gratified and healthy. And don't get me started with the obsession with power, money, and attention. How do the majority of people not understand that in order to feel genuinely happy and fulfilled, the main focus must be on emotional and spiritual well being? And that if they really focused on this, they would realize that both these things are the same thing. How do most people not understand that showing off is hurtful and ultimately selfish because it reinforces differences and competition while undermining unity, commonality, love, appreciation, connection, and truth, the only things everyone, including themselves, are really looking for? I've never understood how this is not more clear and obvious for most people. And so you see, I found peace and serenity in the stillness of the night. Sometimes I really feel like it was the main thing that saved me from losing my mind. Because to be around the chaos of most people not only feels frustrating, but it has always felt maddening. And even worse, it makes me sad. Very, very sad. Sad to see how all the conveniences are destroying not only themselves, but everyone and everything around them. It has always been sad for me to see how people mindlessly eat helpless animals that first have been hijacked, tortured, and violently abused, and then carelessly massacred, all for a few moments of carnal, selfish pleasure and fulfillment. Look, he knows what we're talking about. He's coming right back here. He's just, hmm. That's the beauty of the animal kingdom. And then to even have the nerve that it is often not to their liking or that they've had enough of what's on their plate, and so too often it ends up in the trash. To witness any food being thrown out produces a sharp and grueling pain in my heart. How can people be so clueless and selfish and ungrateful? How can people walk around their neighborhood, see trash on the ground, and not stop to pick some of it up, even for good gesture? But worse, this would imply that there are many people who are actually throwing trash on the ground. the very ground that has been violently raped and abused and turned into a concrete jungle, nearly sterile of almost all life. I can feel the pain of every tree that has been violently ripped off, and all the infinite variety of beautiful creatures that have been uprooted and slayed, and so many senselessly destroyed to the point of extinction. And people walk on by with their plastic bags, carrying their new useless acquisitions in one hand and a plastic bottle in the other, because they have to drink a lot of water, so their skin looks all hydrated as they go consume more senseless shit, and ultimately so they can stay healthy, so that they can live longer and consume forever. How this became the goal and the main purpose of so many people, I have never understood. And yes, this too has been the source of great sadness for me to constantly witness. And how is it that most people became so overly obsessed with wanting to stay forever young and to live forever, so much that they are willing to sacrifice all and any life to accomplish this? How do most not understand the cyclical and interconnected nature of their life? How did they become so obsessed with fearing and avoiding death, the thing that is perhaps the only constant of life? The thing that frustrates me the most is how most people do not see beyond the value of the so limited outer and physical reality. And by only valuing this, they are brutally destroying and causing suffering for all life on earth. I can go on, but the more I think about this is the reason I found refuge in the night. It allowed me to still be in the world, but to greatly limit my participation in it, while giving me the space and conditions to focus on stillness and inner contemplation and meditation. I am forever grateful for the night, and I have had the privilege of being able to stay awake late into the night most of my life. But I am also aware that in order to fulfill my life mission of significantly contributing to alleviating suffering on earth, I must now find a way to totally switch this well anchored habit and instead go to sleep super early and wake up super early. I have tried to le- I have tried to make this switch many times in my life, but the forces that lead me back to my unusual habits seem unsurmountable. It seems like no matter how hard I try, I always resort back to staying awake late, very late into the night. The night has always been there for me. I almost feel like it is a relationship whose time has expired and that I need to say goodbye to it, but that I don't want to, even though I know in my gut that this is the right thing to do. The beautiful butterfly circling around us. I don't know how to give it up, even though I feel that I need to. And just the first beautiful words of beautiful BlueGod's response. Consider your genuine plea heard. Consider my help on this matter already in progress. Thank you for making yourself this vulnerable. And with that, my dears, I'll see you in episode 101.